Social groups. Society consists of groups. A social group existed when two or more people are in direct or indirect contact and communication. The members of the group stimulate and respond to one another in some meaningful way. This mutual stimulation and response of individuals and groups is social interaction. The nature and character of social relationship underlie different forms of social groups such as primary and secondary groups, in-groups and out-groups, organized and unorganized groups, formal and informal groups and so on. Definition of social group. 1. H. M. Johnson, a social group is a system of social interaction. 2. R. M. McIver and C. H. Page, social group is any collection of human beings who are brought into human relationship with one another. 3. Ogburn and Nimkoff, whenever two or more individuals come together and influence one another, they may be said to constitute a social group. Nature of social group. The main characteristics of social groups are as follows. 1. Collection of individuals. 2. Interaction among members. 3. Mutual awareness. 4. We feeling. 5. Group unity and solidarity. 6. Common interest. 7. Similar behavior. 8. Group norms. 9. Size of the group. 10. Groups are dynamic. 11. Stability. 12. Influence of personality. Classification. Different sociologists have classified social groups on the basis of different criteria. 1. In groups and out groups. W. G. Sumner in his Folkways differentiates between in groups and out groups. In group is simply the we group, and out group is the they group. For a Hindu, all the other Hindus are constituted the in group, and all the other religious persons are constituted the out group. 2. Involuntary and voluntary groups. 3. Organized and unorganized groups. 4. Formal and informal groups. 5. Primary and secondary groups. 6. Small and large groups. Primary groups and secondary groups. Charles Horton Cooley has introduced the term primary group in his book Social Organization. This classification of groups into primary and secondary is made on the basis of the nature and character of social interaction. It means it depends on the nature of social contact and the degree of intimacy among the members concerned. Primary groups are also called face-to-face groups. The primary groups. The meaning of primary group. Cooley used the term primary groups to mean social group characterized by face-to-face relationship, mutual aid, and companionship. By primary groups, Cooley meant the intimate, personal, face-to-face groups. Examples for primary groups: family, neighborhood, friends club, peer group etc. Chief characteristics of primary groups. 1. Dominance of face-to-face relations. Primary groups are characterized by close and intimate relationships. There exists a face-to-face relationship among the members. In primary groups, everyone knows everyone else, one's name and fame, one's status, wealth, occupation, level of education etc. Close contact between them increases intimacy among the members. Face-to-face relations are commonly observed in small group like family, children's playgroup, neighborhood and so on. The characteristic of primary relation. A. Identity of ends. Members of the primary groups have more or less identical desires and attitudes. They work together for the attainment of their common ends without disagreement. They look at the world through the same eyes. Every member of the group pursues, as one of his ends, the welfare of the other. The identification of ends is connected with the fusion of personalities within the group. B. The relationship is an end in itself. The primary relationship is regarded as an end in itself, but not a means to an end. It is neither utilitarian nor motivated by any economic gain. It is intrinsically enjoyable. True love between husband and wife or genuine friendship between two individuals is, for example, beyond the consideration of any selfish motive. C. The relationship personal. I. The primary grew 0p. The interest of each is centered in others as persons. The relationship disappears if the particular person disappears from it. As Kingsley Davis says, the primary relationship is a matter of persons. It exists because of the person, not despite him. The relationship is non-transferable and irreplaceable. E.g., the relationship between the husband and wife is such that no third person can replace any one of the two. D. The relationship is inclusive. The individual in a personal relationship is not an abstraction. Individuals are treated as complete human beings. All persons of the group are fused together completely. Individuals know each other very well. Different aspects of members' personality are known to all the other members. The secondary groups. The secondary groups are almost the opposite of primary groups. The social groups other than those of primary groups may be termed as secondary group. Meaning of secondary group. Ogburn and Nimkoff say that the groups which provide experience lacking in intimacy can be called secondary groups. Characteristics. 1. Dominance of secondary relations. Secondary groups are characterized by indirect, impersonal, contractual and non-inclusive relations. 2. Largeness of the size. Secondary groups are relatively larger in size. 3. Membership. Membership in the case of secondary groups is mainly voluntary. 4. No physical basis. Secondary groups are not characterized by physical proximity. Monosecondary groups are not limited to any definite area. 5. Specific ends or interests. Secondary groups are formed for the realization of some specific interest or ends. 6. Indirect communication. Contact and communication in the case of secondary groups are mostly indirect. 7. Nature of group control. Informal means of social control are less effective in regulating the relation of members. Formal means of social control such as law, legislation, police, court, etc. are made use of to control. 8. Group structure. The secondary group has a formal structure. 9. Limited influence on personality. Secondary groups are specialized in character. Primary group. Secondary group. 1. Meaning, groups which are characterized by face-to-face relations, mutual aid and companionship are primary groups. X. Family, neighborhood, community, children's play group, local brotherhood. 1. Group which provides experience lacking in intimacy are secondary groups. X. Political parties, trade union, religious association, the state, city, corporation, factory, Rotary Club etc. 2. Nature of social relations. Social relations are face-to-face, direct, intimate, personal, contractual, non-specialized, non-partisan and non-economic in character. 2. Social relations are indirect, impersonal, non-intimate, contractual, specialized, partisan, and more economic in nature. 3. Size. Primary groups are smaller in size. They are localized or limited to a definite area. 3. Secondary groups are relatively bigger in size. They are not necessarily restricted to a small area. 4. Physical proximity. Groups are confined to a small geographic area. 4. Groups are not characterized by a physical area. 5. Communications. Since members stay together, communication is not only direct but also quick and effective. 5. Since members are spread over a vast area, direct communication is difficult. It is mostly indirect in nature. 6. Group interest. Interests of the members are not specific but general. Everyone is interested in the welfare of everyone else. 6. Interest of the members are more specific, hence groups are often called special interest groups. 7. Nature of cooperation. Cooperation is direct. Members work together, play together, enjoy together, and in times of crisis struggle together. Cooperation is natural and spontaneous. 7. Cooperation is mostly indirect. Cooperation is an intended act to serve a particular need. It is limited to that purpose only. 8. Group structure. Group structure is very informal. Members are not particular about their rights and powers or statuses and prestige. No formal or detailed rules are drafted as guidelines. 8. Group structure is formal. The group is regulated by a set of formal rules. Statuses and rules, rights and powers of the members are well as defined. The organization of the group is carefully planned and worked. 9. Durability. Groups are relatively durable. 9. Group may be temporary or permanent. 10. Effects on personality. The group has a long-lasting influence upon the personality development of the members. 10. The impact of the personality of the members is rated limited. 11. Nature of group control. Primary group control the behavior of the members to a great extent. Informal means of social control are enough to regulate the relations. 11. Secondary groups have limited control over the behavior of the members. Therefore, informal means are not enough to control the behavior of members.